Hi everyone, my name is Ed Quinlan. I'm the president of Baseball Ontario. I want to thank you for joining us today for our special announcement. So I want to walk you through a few key milestones as it relates to our return to sport protocol. So our special task force put together a draft protocol that was approved by the Board of Management and sent to you last week on June 3rd for you could get an idea of what the protocols were looking like. But of course, we sent that out at the same time looking for legal review. So we sent it to the Sport Law and Strategies Group. And we also wanted a medical review, and it was sent to Dr. Paul Bunce. Now, both organizations provided feedback, and that was passed on to our special task force, taken into consideration, and then presented to our Board of Management for final review. In the meantime, we also sent our draft protocols to the Ontario Ministry of Tourism, Culture, and Sport for its feedback. Now, the exciting news came when the province of Ontario indicated, as part of Stage 2, that the framework for reopening would include team sports and would allow for outdoor team sports, maintaining physical distancing, of course, but for training only and no scrimmage or games. So with all of that information and journey, I'm very pleased to share with all of you that the protocols were approved by Baseball Ontario's Board of Management at the June 11th meeting. Now, what I want to share, there were a couple of changes. One particular that I really wanted to bring your attention to was the sanitizing of baseballs. So there was a discussion in there about sanitizing baseball, and based on the feedback, the Board of Management approved that we are going to take our focus, our energy that would have went into sanitizing baseballs and really putting that energy into hand sanitizing and washing. So we've introduced 30 minutes during practice, or every 30 minutes in a practice, hand washed, hand sanitized. Can't stress that enough. But again, the energies that would have went into washing baseballs or sanitizing baseballs will now go into making sure we are sanitizing our hands every 30 minutes in practice and every half inning in games. We got a lot of comments and requests to change the no leadoffs. So let me walk you through why we did not change no leadoffs at 18U and below. It's interesting. A lot of the discussion was around there's not many pickoffs, or it doesn't really make a difference, and you couldn't quite understand why we would have no leadoffs in that age category. Well, let me be clear. The hot spot in baseball is first base with a runner on. And it's not about continuous action and how many pickoffs and when the ball is hit. The hot spot is around in between pitches. We all know batters can average anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 pitches and at bat. And what happens in between the pitches? The leadoff comes back to first base. The first baseman starts to talk. Maybe the first base coach comes up, and if there's an umpire, he shifts in. And all of a sudden, you've got this hot spot of people that are not social distancing because it's the accordion effect of leading off, return to the base, leading off, returning to the base. And we simply don't want that. So the no leadoffs are here to stay. So now I want to walk you through the other journey that took place in regards to the suspension of in-person activity. Well, as you know, on March 15th, we suspended in-person activity till April 3rd. And then we had to extend that in-person activity suspension until May 31st. And then on May 25th, we had to again extend until June 15th, which is in place as we speak. Well, I just mentioned the province of Ontario moving into Stage 2 in certain parts, allowing for outdoor team sports to resume. Again, physically distanced still required, and it's for training only, no scrimmages and no games. On June 12th, certain areas of the province have moved into Stage 2. So what does this mean for Baseball Ontario? Well, as I said, on June 11th, Baseball Ontario approved our return to sport protocol. So, in-person baseball activities will resume in the province of Ontario at 12:01 a.m. on June 16th. Now, some of you may be sitting there wondering, why June 16th when we've moved into stage 2 in certain areas on June 12th? Well, I'm going to walk you through the things that need to happen now that in-person baseball activities will resume on June 16th. There's a lot of things that need to occur between now and then. And it would be unfair to lift that in-person suspension and put all of that pressure onto locals and coaches and organization and structure without giving them the time now to start to walk through and understand what you need to do between now and June 16th.